Iphigenia en Tauris by CHRISTOPH WILLIBALD GLUCK. The synopsis is presented by Opera Inside, the online opera guide. The roles: Diana, Greek goddess. Iphigenia, priestess of Diana and daughter of Agamemnon. Orestes, brother of Iphigenia. Pylades, friend and companion of Orestes. Thoas, ruler of Tauris. History. Tantalus, a demigod, was popular with the gods and was invited to celebrate with them. He wanted to take the opportunity and steal nectar and ambrosia from them to gain immortality in his turn. The gods noticed the theft and punished him with eternal banishment to the underworld. 3 generations later, his great-grandson Agamemnon, who led the Greeks against the Trojans, was forced to sacrifice his daughter Iphigenia to the goddess Diana to provide favorable wines for his army. He resisted, but Iphigenia was willing to sacrifice herself in all this. Diana, moved by her sublimity, took Iphigenia and secretly made her a priestess on the island of Tauris. Iphigenia was not the only child of Agamemnon. He had 3 other children with Clytemnestra, Orestes, Electra and Chrysothemis. In order to avenge Iphigenia, Clytemnestra and her lover Aegis killed Agamemnon. Orestes, enraged by the murder of his beloved father, killed his mother. When Orestes asked the oracle how he could atone for the matricide, it sent him to Tauris without telling him about his sister. Orestes is now on his way to the island, together with his faithful friend Pylades. In the temple of Diana on the island of Tauris, a storm is raging. Iphigenia and the priestesses beg the gods for appeasement. But Iphigenia cannot calm down. The storm continues to rage inside her. She tells about her dream. She saw her parents' castle. Her father lying dead on the ground, murdered by her mother. Iphigenia's brother Orestes came and executed his mother in revenge. Finally she saw herself raising the sacrificial knife against her beloved brother Orestes. She is desperate and believes her brother dead. Still the curse of Tantalus hovers over the family. Iphigenia does not want to live anymore and turns to the goddess Diana to unite her with her brother Orestes in the afterlife. Thoas, the ruler of Tauris, steps to her. He too is troubled. The oracle has foretold him that he will die unless he makes a human sacrifice first. Iphigenia doesn't believe that blood and murder can be used to appease the gods. But Thoas is in turmoil. His warriors demand a sacrifice to appease the gods, and tell of 2 Greeks whose boat was washed ashore by the storm and captured by the Scythians. Thoas declares to sacrifice the 2 and instructs the warriors to take them to the temple. When the Greeks arrive in the hall, Thoas asks what brought them here, but the 2 do not reveal the secret. They are taken to the cell. Orestes is shocked that he has led his friend to his death. But Pylades does not want to hear about it. He is proud to die with his friend. Together they celebrate their friendship, which has lasted since their childhood days. Guards enter the cell and separate the 2 as the ceremony requires. Orestes is full of pain at being separated from his friend. Orestes falls asleep from exhaustion. The gods of revenge dance around him, and Orestes sees the shadow of Clytemnestra in his sleep. It's morning. The door to the cell opens, and Iphigenia enters Orestes' cell. Orestes is bewildered. Her features remind him of his sister. Iphigenia wants to know about the unknown man, where he comes from. When he calls Mycenae, she is agitated. She wants to know what happened to Agamemnon, and Orestes tells the story of murder and the revenge of his son. When Iphigenia wants to know what happened to the son, he claims the son died. Iphigenia is heartbroken. When she leaves the cell, the priestesses try to comfort her. Iphigenia deeply feels abandoned. Her parents and her brother are all lost forever. Homesick, she decides that one of the prisoners will be released, so that he can deliver a message to Electra. She thinks of the prisoner, whose features so deceptively resemble those of Orestes. She goes to the 2 Greeks and delivers the message. But neither of them is willing to live at the expense of the other. Orestes can't stand the fact that his friend dies for him and threatens to kill himself. But Pylades does not want to see his friend die. Finally Pylades fulfills the wish of his friend. Orestes is taken away, and Iphigenia hands Pylades the letter intended for Electra. Secretly, Pylades swears to save his friend. Iphigenia is alone in the temple. She is disgusted by her office, which forces her to perform the sacrificial ritual with her own hands. The priestesses bring the sacrifice to Iphigenia, whose heart is torn apart. Orestes is ready to die and moved by the pity of Iphigenia. When Iphigenia is handed the knife and has to stab, Orestes reveals himself as her brother. Full of joy, Iphigenia drops the knife. Thoas rushed over. He has heard that Iphigenia does not obey the sacrifice order and demands that she carry out the sacrifice. At that moment, Pylades storms in with Greek soldiers and strikes Thoas down. The Scythians want to avenge the death of their king. The goddess Diana descends from a cloud and the fighters fall to their knees. She proclaims that the Scythians have too long degraded her with their savage sacrifices. Turning to Orestes, she declares that the curse of his family is banished and that he and Iphigenia should return to Mycenae. Orestes is happy that he may return with his sister. And everyone is happy that the gods are reconciled again.
www.operaInside.com. All about operas. Learn more about this great opera, with interesting facts and great YouTube videos. Visit us.